So you see, let's continue from the previous part. So if you try to find out the angular dispersion, it is given by a plus b, which is d theta by d lambda. It is given by a plus b cos theta d theta d lambda. It is equal to n if you take the previous equation. So d theta d lambda will be n by a plus b cos of theta. Okay, now if we take 1 by n, 1 by a plus b as m, where m, we consider this as the grating element, where n is the number of rulings per unit length. Okay, so you call this the grating element. All right, so if that is equal to mn by cos theta, then for angle theta, where cos theta is very small, where angle theta is very small, cos theta will be almost constant. So you can say over here that the angular dispersion of the grating or the dispersive power is proportional to m, the grating element. It is proportional to the order, and it is proportional to 1 by cos theta. Okay, now let us discuss an important criterion which we call Rayleigh's criterion. Okay, so what does that criterion tell us? What does Rayleigh's criterion tell us? Okay, let us find that out first. Okay, so what is it that we know from Rayleigh's criterion? What is that criterion? What does it talk about? Rayleigh's criterion. Well, from Rayleigh, this basically talks about the limit of resolution of an optical instrument. Okay, to what extent two patterns will be separated was actually discussed. Two corresponding patterns of slightly different wavelength, diffraction patterns of slightly different wavelength. To what extent you can distinguish them, to what extent you can separate them, is actually obtained from Rayleigh's criterion. So what does Rayleigh's criterion tell us? The criterion of resolution. Okay, so if you have two objects, for example, well, let me just draw it, then it will be a bit clear. Suppose, say, this is the principal maxima for one of the diffraction spectrum of a specific wavelength, with the corresponding minimas following from your minimas and other maximas of lower orders following from here. So it is like this, suppose, say, of gradually diminishing intensity. Okay, and if you have another principal maxima, okay, so this is actually the centroid of the first principal maxima of a certain wavelength, and now you have, say, another principal maxima of another diffraction pattern of a different wavelength. It is coming from a different wavelength whose centroid comes over here. Okay, now if you just see these two principal maximas through your grating, you can see that these two spectrum are well resolved. Well resolved in the sense that both the principal maximas are distinctly visible. Okay, now suppose if I draw it in this manner, suppose, say, the same thing, I draw it like this. Okay, this is my first order, this is my second order for one of them. Similarly, first order and second order on the either side, and the other one, so this is my centroid for one, and my centroid for the other comes over here. So it is like this again. So this is my first order, this is my second order of gradually diminishing intensity, my first order, and my second order of gradually diminishing intensity. Now if you just compare these two spectrums, you will see that the two principal maximas of slightly different wavelengths, they have come closer now. So the question that comes at this point is, are they now resolved? Can these two diffraction patterns be viewed distinctly through the diffraction grating or through any other optical instruments? So this, whether we can see it distinctly or whether we cannot see it distinctly, this criterion was provided by Lord Rayleigh. Just look at the third drawing of the same thing. Okay, see here what happens. You have, suppose say, this is the combined spectrum that you, this is the spectrum that you see for two diffraction principal maximas. Okay, like this, the two diffraction principal maximas have come still closer, okay, with their respective higher orders of gradually diminishing intensities. All right, so what happens over here is the net that you see over here are not separated. You see one single peak like that, they both get added up. Whereas in this case, actually, instead of seeing a single peak, you will see a distinct dip between two peaks. It will not be as well separated as in this case, but there will be a distinct dip occurring between the two peaks. Whereas in the last case, that dip will be absent. You see a single line like this. So this is what we call the so the corresponding criterion which was set by Lord Rayleigh, which we call Rayleigh's criterion. Okay, what does the criterion say? That two spectrum will be considered as just resolved. You can consider them as just resolved when the centroid of the central maxima of one will fall on the first minima of the other. Just look at this spectrum. This is one of a certain wavelength lambda. So this is the central maxima. This is your first minima. Okay, look at the other of slightly different wavelength. This is your central maxima, and this centroid of the central maxima is falling on the first minima. So when the centroid of the central maxima falls on the first minima, then your spectrum will be just resolved, and that is called, according to Rayleigh's criterion, it is your limit. It decides the limits of resolution of your instrument. Okay, the limit of resolution of your instrument. All right, so you see, therefore what we decide at this point, so you have to be very specific when you define or when you understand or when you write down Rayleigh's criterion. Okay, the two objects will be said to be just resolved if the separation between the central maximum of the two objects is just equal to the distance between the central maximum and the first minimum. So distance between the two central maximum will be basically equal to the distance between the central maximum and the first minimum. If that does not happen, then the spectrum will be unresolved, as in this case. If you cannot make that happen, then the spectrum will be unresolved, as in this case. It is also defined, well, you can also say that the two objects are well, you can call them as well resolved if the distance between the central maximum, and the first minimum of any two of the objects is smaller than the separation between the central maxima of the two spectrum. So this should be smaller than this separation. Okay, if you can achieve that, then your spectra will be just resolved. That is Rayleigh's criterion. So if you have understood Rayleigh's criterion, with that understanding, let us try to proceed with our understanding of resolving power. Okay, so let's stop over here before we start talking about resolving power. Okay,